Welcome back to GameStop TV. I'm here at San Diego Comic-Con 2018. I'm at the DC booth, and I'm joined by the legendary Jim Lee. Thanks for being here.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah, no, I mean, you don't have to thank me. I would have come here even if I didn't have an interview like, let me talk to Jim Lee.
No.
So Jim, you are one of the most recognizable comic artists of the past several decades. You've worked for every major publisher, you've drawn so many iconic heroes, and now you've landed at DC.
Yeah.
Tell me, what do you think you've been able to bring to some of the characters like Batman and the other Justice League members that have helped usher them into a modern age?
Well, I think it's important to recognize that a lot of these characters have been around for 80 years, right? This is actually the 80th year anniversary of the first appearance of Superman.
Wow.
That kind of kicked off the whole trend of superheroes. Next year is at Batman's 80th. A lot of the other members of Justice League were introduced in the 50s and 60s.
Yep.
So at the end of the day, you know, you're talking about characters that have been around for a while. So I think one of the jobs I have as an artist, as a creative executive, is to how do we keep these characters fresh and contemporary? And it's not just about costume design, I'm very involved in that, but it's also about just kind of how they stand, the gestures they use. When you think about the classic superhero pose, it's, you know, it's this, right? And and that's something that worked well in the 30s and 40s, but today I think it's kind of used ironically. So what is the modern equivalent of that kind of pose? What makes these characters feel relatable yet iconic? And so these are kinds of things that continue to evolve and change decade to decade. So it keeps the job kind of really interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, speaking of iconic images,
Yes.
there are some new products being created as a partnership with GameStop and ThinkGeek, where we are taking your sketches and making things like Funko Pop figures.
Yeah.
We're making shirts.
Yes, absolutely.
Hot Wheels cars, everything like that. Jim, how did you select the sketches that were ultimately going to be used to create all of these products?
Yeah, so we basically had files and files of my art, and I basically sat down and went through them and said, this would be a great, you know, coffee mug or figure, or this will look great on a car. So it really was fun kind of going through memory lane and pulling out the best images for that. Obviously you want something kind of splashy and big, nothing with too many backgrounds or too much detail, something that kind of pops from a distance. So there's a whole kind of process of picking out the best art for the best products.
All of these sketches are gorgeous. The products are looking really cool. And if you want to pick up these products, talk to a guest advisor at your local GameStop or ThinkGeek today. All right, Jim.
All right.
Thanks a
Great.
lot.
Thank
Really
you, man.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, GameStop TV will be back right after this.